Oh, yes, I can record. Here I am at the staff room. Time to record another scene before the end of the day. Today, we'll go back to, today we'll go Ocker. We're going to go Aussie Ocker. I can't find the video I made. I recorded a video of scene 4, Act 1, scene 4. Anyway, doesn't matter. What's done is done. Okay, let's go to Act 1, Scene 5. If anyone's following along at home, it's page 45 of most books. We've already done that. That's Lady Macbeth. Let's go to Act 1, Scene 6, and we'll quickly have a look at Act 1, Scene 6. Here I am on page 46 now. Page 46. So, oboes and torches. Oboe was a type of quite beautiful. Oboe. Now, torches. Duncan comes in. Banquo, Lennox, Macduff, Ross, Angus, and the attendants, all the lowly people that don't really matter so much. And Duncan says, I have made this recording. This is one I can't find. Duncan says, this castle hath a pleasant seat. So really, he's just saying, what a lovely pad you've got here, Macbeth. This is grand. Thanks very much. He's not talking to Macbeth yet, because he goes on to say on page 47, about here on line, this is on line 15, on line 10, no, on line 20, it's the end of the day, pardon my mistake. On line 20, where's the Thane of Cawdor? Wait, I said I'd go Ocker, let's go Ocker. Now, where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guest tonight. So he's really just saying, thanks for having me here. We followed him as quick we could, but it was love that brought him home to you. So essentially, we're kind of finding out here that Duncan seems to be quite a nice king, and he's certainly got a whole lot of respect for Macbeth, a whole lot of love for Macbeth, even. In fact, he says this at the end. Give me your hand. This is line 28. Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him by your leave. You like my over the top. So that's the end of that scene. Essentially, it's really making clear Duncan's got a whole lot of love and respect for Macbeth, which puts into better perspective what Macbeth and Lady Macbeth must be going through in order to do that which they must do if he wishes to become king and follow the prophecy. All right, Act 1, Scene 7. Now, this is the key. This is the bomb. This is the big one. Act 1, Scene 7, the very first line. Again, the oboes are here, by the way, in this version. And torches. I love torches. She does pitch the torches to burn bright. Now, Macbeth says at the start of this scene, if it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his success, but that this blow might be the be-all and the end-all, here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. All right, so what's he saying there? That's the first 6 lines of the scene. He's saying, if it's got to happen, it's got to happen quick. It's like the, you don't tear a Band-Aid off slowly, do you? What do? You rip the Band-Aid off. You take it off as quick as you can. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, what does that mean, to trammel up? Here's a footnote number 2 over here. To catch up, as in fishing, to catch the consequence. So hopefully it'll catch the consequences. This blow, the killing of the king, is going to be the end of it. So even by saying that, Macbeth's really going, oh, geez, better get this done quickly, better do this killing, and I really hope I just kill this guy and I'm king, and that's sweet. All's good. No one really asks any more questions. What they do in plays. So he's foreshadowing again here. So much foreshadowing. But here, upon this bank, and shoal of time, I'm reading again. This is the top now of page 48, line 7. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we dump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. Let's pause a moment. Bloody instructions, what could that refer to? But the instructions he's given the people who are going to kill Macbeth in the very next end of this scene. Which being taught return to plague the inventor. So he gave the instructions and he knows it's going to come back and bite him on the let's continue. So this even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. A poisoned chalice. Do we know what that is? A chalice is a cup with poison in it. So he knows that this killing of the king is his poison chalice, that it's going to be his undoing. He's here in double trust. Double trust. Two ways that Duncan trusts Macbeth. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not dare the knife myself. So he's saying here, I am super guilty for what I'm about to do because I'm loyal to my king, and also I'm his host. He's in my house right now, and that's the ultimate betrayal. Especially even now, you don't have someone over at your place, invite them to stay, have a celebratory feast with them, and then it's the wrong thing. It's the bad thing to do. Okay, let's continue. So this is about line 15, 16 now. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, but tears shall drown the wind. Ooh, what an image! Tears shall drown the wind. Could mean the volume of your crying drowns out the sound of the wind. I like the actual just literal image of so many tears, such a flood of tears that it stops the very wind itself. Love a bit of good imagery. What a useful word to use in your essay, imagery. The tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. All right, so he's got a spur, like in horse riding, to prick the sides of his intent, except ambition. So the only thing driving him on here is it's not a desire, it's just he wants to be king. He doesn't want to do any killing, he just wants to be king. That's his vaulting ambition, by the way, is his desire to be king, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. What a lovely line. So the images of a rider who tries to leap into the saddle, whoop, but overshoots the saddle and falls on the other side. I just think of it as tripping over himself. Then in comes Lady Macbeth. How now? What news? He hath almost supped. Why have you... I'm just going to read on for a while. Why have you left the chamber? Has he asked for me? Know you not he has? We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late, and I have brought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon. Was hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be in the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest in the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage? So that is Lady Macbeth's key line to Macbeth in this play. Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Did you get up on the wrong side of the bed, sweetheart, and lose all your bravery to do this thing that I thought we'd agreed to do? This is just a husband and wife here having a chat about, hey, sweetheart, didn't we just say this morning that you were going to wash the dishes? Insert other phrase, kill the king? Yeah, we did. Why aren't you going to do it? Quite like that about Lady Macbeth. She is to the point. Um, wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thy own esteem? She says to him. That's line 43 of that bit there. Now, both those lines, was the hope drunk and live a coward in thine own esteem, are good to highlight, good to use in an essay, because she's saying, hey, you're going to feel like a coward if you don't go through with this. You're going to feel like a coward. You better go ahead with it. Prithee, peace. That's like, leave me alone, sweetie. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. Oh, big time. Big philosophy there from Macbeth. He dares do everything for a man who wants to call himself manly. But, and he makes this great point, if you do more than that, you're not a man because you have become a beast, a demon. The question is unanswered, but the implication for my mind is there. Something evil, something other than human. Lady Macbeth replies, this is the top of page 49. What beast was it that made you break this enterprise to me? The enterprise being the promise he made. Break this enterprise to me. When you just do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than the man. She's essentially saying, no, sweetie, no. You made this promise to me. A man's thing is to fulfill, and anyone's thing is to fulfill their promises. You follow it through. You get it to the end. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make them both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. Ooh, who's the they there? They. Ooh. I think the they there is time and place. And she's saying it's this time and this place is ruining you and making you a coward. So they refers to time and the place. I have given suck and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this. She's saying that's a really intense, complex piece of imagery. She's saying, I would take a babe breastfeeding on my breast and smash its head open if I was to break a promise like you're breaking a promise. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting it the wrong way around because of the hour. I would take this baby and smash its brains out if that was the promise I made. She's saying, I can hold up a promise, mate. Why can't you? I can keep my promises. I'd keep this promise about killing a baby if that was the promise I made. And so you should keep your promise about killing a king, because that is not as bad as the other that she suggests there. Macbeth goes, but if we should fail? Oh, we fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail, so convinced that memory, the water of the brain, shall be a fume. The receipt of reason a limbic only. Essentially, Lady Macbeth here is setting up killing for Macbeth. She's going to drug the guards. The king's going to fall asleep. She's got it all covered. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell? So here she's saying those who shall bear the guilt, his officers, the two guards. She's saying we're going to set up his two guards to make it look like they killed King Duncan. And we can do anything we want. Macbeth replies, bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it? What is he asking there? That's a really tough one. He's really just confirming the instructions, I think. We have marked with blood, so he's saying we're gonna put the king's blood all over these two while they sleep and put their daggers back in their sheaths. Who dares receive it? We shall make our griefs and clamour roar upon his death. Macbeth, I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. Oh, what a quote! Put that quote down in your books. Highlight it in this book. It's the last line of the scene. false-faced must hide what the false heart doth know. His heart is false because he's about to betray his king and his guest. But he's putting on a false face in order to hide himself. And doubly so, they're doing a falsie, they're pulling a falsie, a swifty, on those poor guards who are going to get framed for the king's murder. Macbeth, a drum, Macbeth.com. All right, end of that scene. So try and do a summary of that scene now, and I'll hope that this worked.